It's meditation time. If you're joining me live this morning, welcome. If you're taking the time to view this later, welcome. I am creating a space for myself to compensate for all the things that I currently cannot do. So if you can see the view behind me, it's a wall photograph that allows me to, at least in my imagination, go visit the forest, the stream. It seems to brighten my day. I find that in these rather challenging times, there is a tendency, at least in me, although I do see it in other people as well, to fluctuate between what we know is supportive and nourishing and good for us to behaviors that are the opposite of that. I think in our Western culture, we have such a big idea of compensating ourselves for what we're lacking, for what we think we deserve and don't get. And of course, I just mentioned what I created on my wall, which is a way to compensate for not having the opportunity this summer to go to the mountains, to travel with ease. And I think this specific way of compensation is nourishing and is helpful and healthy. But there are other things that are not so much. And this is the topic of today's reflection practice, is what do we take in? We think of consumption in terms of purchasing power, perhaps in terms of what we eat, our diet. And often we don't think of consumption in terms of the information that we absorb from our environment. Whether it's obsessive watching of the news that I know is taking place in many people's households, or if it's spending time letting our obsessive, harmful thoughts take over. So as we consume information, as we consume food, as we consume news, all of this affects us greatly and deeply. It affects our body, mind, and spirit. We know that food is information that can actually change our genetic makeup. Genes can be turned on and off depending on what you feed yourself. Genes get turned on and off also through our experiences and even through the experiences of generations before us. We know now from the science of epigenetics how we can carry the trauma of our parents, grandparents, great-grandparents, and how generations and generations of trauma can show themselves and become a behavior, perceived to be a behavior, and become, really a culture. So what we consume makes a huge difference. What we watch makes a huge difference. And I'm not advocating for willful ignorance. I am advocating for a balanced consumption of everything that you take in, whether it's food, or the people you hang out with, or what you watch on TV for entertainment or as news. So let's explore this using a time for reflection. And I invite you, as usual, to find yourself a comfortable position, perhaps sitting or lying down. And then gently close your eyes. Soon the bell will sound. Indicating the beginning of today's practice. Allow the eyes to be so gently closed down. Allow your breath to simply be as it is. Let it enter and exit the body smoothly, simply paying attention to the flow of the breath as it goes in and out. And if the breath is not a comfort, you can always bring your attention to where your body is supported by the surface on which you're sitting or lying down. Imagine the earth supporting you, supporting the structure in which you are resting. Bring to mind all the wisdom that is already here in nature, in creation. And let yourself rest for just a moment. Tune to the breath or noticing where the body is connected and supported, bringing comfort and peacefulness for this moment. Perhaps imagine relaxation like a wave that is starting at your feet, and wherever it touches, every muscle, nerve and fiber is now releasing, relaxing and softening. Let relaxation move upwards in the body. The ankles releasing. The lower legs loosening. The knees, the back of the knees releasing. As relaxation moves upwards to the upper legs, the back of the thighs, every muscle, nerve and fiber releasing now, relaxing and softening. Allow the wave of relaxation to now engulf the pelvis area, sinking into the surface on which you're lying or sitting, releasing, loosening, relaxing. The abdomen, the lower back, relaxing. The chest and upper back. Each in-breath invites even more relaxation. Each out-breath sends relaxation throughout your body and your mind. the throat, the neck, an opening takes place, a softening with relaxation. The face muscles releasing even more, inviting perhaps a soft parting of the lips. Invite relaxation to wash all over you, from the top of your head all the way to your toes. Finding yourself more and more comfortable, more and more relaxed, as the body releases, the mind opens, a state of reflection in relaxation. I invite you to take a look at a day. Perhaps take a look at your morning or afternoon. Whenever that you are having this experience, perhaps notice the few hours that came before it. And as you go through those hours, pay attention. What were you consuming? And how did it feel? Notice how it feels in your body. Perhaps you were watching the news. How it felt in your body. How did it affect your mood, your thoughts? Perhaps you were spending your time in nature. How did that feel in your body? How did that affect your thoughts, your mood? As I grow silent, scan your body as you go through your day and simply notice everything that you experience, everything that you consumed. How did you, your system, your body, mind, spirit react? Take your time in relaxation. This is not a call for judgment. It is a call for observation. And if you find yourself drifting in a train of thought that doesn't serve you, bring yourself back to your breath, to your body, to your reflection on how you are affected by the things you consume. Take your time. I invite your discernment. What is truly nourishing for you and what may be harmful? The body is the first responder. As you imagine yourself going through your day, notice the response in the body first, perhaps in the chest, perhaps an expansion or a constriction, perhaps in the throat, or maybe in the belly or the shoulders. And then notice what thoughts come up, what emotions, what is beneficial for you, what is not. Take your time. As you tally in your mind what is nourishing for you and what causes discomfort, notice that discomfort sometimes is an agent for change. It is all in how your system responds to this stimuli. Perhaps limiting consuming things that do not support you, whether they're physical things, perhaps substances or unhealthy food, or they are non-physical things. Violent TV, watching too many news shows. Whatever it may be for you, develop a discerning wisdom that allows you to bring into your life more nourishment and remove what is not beneficial. Make a list in your mind. Take your time. You may notice that often, because we are creatures of habit, we simply repeat patterns we have been repeating for many, many years without a conscious decision, a wise choice of what is truly beneficial and what is not. It's perhaps easiest to see it with food, trained from childhood to go for sugary things when we're upset by our parents. And then when we're upset as adults, that is where our mind sends us. But does it make you truly feel better? Perhaps for a moment. Not much longer than that. And yet it's not only with food, it is simply the easiest place to see. It is with everything that we do. What are your coping strategies that you're simply habitually repeating? What can you choose differently for yourself, for your well-being? Take a moment. And always, always, if you feel uncomfortable, if you feel it's too much, you can return to your breath. You can return to the sensation of your body, supported by the surface on which you're sitting, lying, or even standing or walking as you go through your day. With loving kindness to yourself, becoming the observer of you. Can you make better choices for yourself? Take a moment and explore your commitment to yourself. What are these better choices? What are you choosing to consume? What information? What social media? What food and drink and other substances? And as you look at those choices that are simply your own, what is better for you? Know that what is better for you benefits all those around you. And now I invite you to walk yourself through a day in your life. Start with the moment you woke up, opened your eyes, and follow yourself through that day, making the wise choices you have decided on. And notice how it feels. How it feels in the body. What are the thoughts? What emotions come up? Take your time and walk in your own shoes or barefoot through your day, making wise choices for yourself on what you are consuming on every level. Take your time. With loving kindness to yourself, see yourself as you go through your day, making wise choices for yourself, benefiting you, nourishing you. It may be doing less of what you've been doing. It may be doing more of the things that support you and are helpful to you. It may mean, with discernment, choosing your involvement in relationships, choosing the conversations that you're willing to have with people in your life or on social media, with wisdom, with discernment. As you take yourself through a day with wise choices, noticing what needs to be done for you. I invite you perhaps to make a vow, a promise to yourself. One thing from your list that you feel is doable, that you are interested in committing to. Place it in your thoughts and take a deep breath in and out. And repeat it to yourself on each breath, in and out. A few more like this, deep breaths. Grounding yourself in your commitment. Soon, the bell will sound, indicating the completion of today's practice. You can stay in reflection if this is what your morning is like. Or you can return to your regular consciousness, allowing yourself to return to your day, perhaps with greater consciousness, perhaps with increased awareness of what you're choosing to take in on every level. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate your presence. And until I see you again, goodbye.